I'm Kallie Orr, your Northern California Realtor, and today I'm going to talk about something that comes up a lot, the idea of selling your home on your own. This is commonly called a FSBO or for sale by owner, and I completely get the appeal. You might think, I can save some money, who knows my house better than me, and how hard could it really be? Well, in today's video, I'm going to answer that very question. Share when a FSBO can actually make sense, when it might be working against you, and the real value a realtor brings to the table, especially when it comes to strategy, safety, and your bottom line. So let's dive in. Let's start with the positives. There are scenarios where FSBO could make sense. The first one that's going to be is if you already have a buyer. If a friend, a family member, or a neighbor wants to buy your home, you're not going to really market it to the public, and this is more of a private sale. This might make sense. But even in this case, you'll want help from professionals, especially with contracts, disclosures, and ensuring the title is clean. Another time a FSBO could make sense is if you're highly experienced. Maybe you've done this a few times before, you're confident with negotiations, confident with pricing, timelines, and paperwork, and you have the time to manage it all. You might be able to handle a FSBO. But even seasoned investors often choose to have agents for leverage and peace of mind. The third time a FSBO might make sense is if it's a hot market for entry-level homes. In markets with extremely low inventory and high demand, especially for starter homes, FSBO listings might move quickly. But a quick sale doesn't necessarily mean a better price or the best terms. Let's talk about the other side, when a FSBO could cost you more than it saves. And honestly, this is more common. So a FSBO, you have to really focus on pricing. Over or under pricing is going to be an issue. Most FSBO sellers either overprice due to emotional attachment or underprice because they're unsure. Either way, you're potentially leaving money on the table, or worse, scaring off serious buyers. The second issue that FSBO sellers tend to have is limited exposure. You don't have access to the MLS, which means you're not showing up on major home search platforms or in front of the other agents in the network. This drastically reduces your reach for buyer competition. The third is going to be inexperienced in negotiation. Negotiation is not just about price, it's about terms, inspections, repairs, credits, contingencies. Without a skilled negotiator in your corner, you risk losing money, time, or opening yourself up to risk. The other huge issue with FSBOs is that disclosure and legal risk. California is a heavy disclosure state. A missed form or incorrect detail could lead to lawsuits. Legal issues cost far more than the commission you are trying to save. The other reason that FSBOs are difficult is that you're emotionally invested. This is your home and your memories, but for buyers, they just want a deal. That emotional tension can lead to poor decisions, and a realtor is there to help keep things professional, objective, and focused on your best interests. So let's talk about the less obvious but very real hurdles that FSBO sellers face. That one's going to be time commitment. You become a marketer, a photographer, a scheduler, a legal expert, a negotiator, and a coordinator. That's a full-time job. The other issues you're going to come across are going to be unqualified buyers. Without proper vetting, you risk wasting time on people who can't get financed. Another really big one for me with FSBOs is that you have some safety concerns because you're inviting strangers into your home without a formal screening process. That's a safety issue. All realtors have background checks, and that is how they will allow their buyers into the property. You're going to get buyer agent pushback on FSBOs. Most serious buyers are already working with agents. Many agents tend to avoid FSBO listings, or they're going to ask you to cover their fee anyway. So you're not going to be saving much, and you're going to be cutting out your biggest resource. A lot of value gets overlooked. A realtor's commission covers much more than just sticking a sign in the yard. Here's what I personally do for my clients and what you should expect from any great agent. The first is going to be strategic pricing. I use hyperlocal data to analyze current trends, neighborhood sales, and timing to price your home to maximize interest and offers. We're not going to just list it. The second is professional marketing. We're talking high quality photos, video walkthroughs, social media promotion, open houses, email blast, and MLS exposure. More visibility equals more buyers equals stronger offers. The next thing that an agent's going to bring to the table is skilled negotiation. My job is to protect your net and reduce liability. I negotiate timelines, terms, credits, and repairs, all with your best interest in mind. The fourth thing that an agent brings to the table is transaction coordination. Between escrow, lenders, inspectors, appraisers, and title companies, there are a lot of moving parts. I manage all of them, troubleshoot issues early, and keep things on track. The next thing you get with an agent is peace of mind. You get to focus on your life while I handle the chaos. You've got someone experienced in your corner, start to finish. I want to share with you one big stat, and according to the National Association of Realtors, homes sold with a realtor are up to 26% more on average than a for sale by owner home. That's a huge difference, even after commissions are factored in. So, does for sale by owner work? Sometimes, but for most sellers, the time, the risk, the missed opportunity just isn't worth it. Working with a realtor doesn't just get you a better price, it brings strategy, legal protection, a wider buyer pool, and a smoother, less stressful experience. If you're considering selling and you want to talk about your options, no pressure, just a real conversation. I'm always here to help. Thank you so much for watching. If this was helpful, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more real estate tips. And until next time, stay empowered and stay informed. I'm Kallie Orr, and I'll see you soon.